Creality's latest printer, the Ender 7, has been dropped. It looks a little funny, but maybe it's up to the test. Let's learn about it. Creality's latest printer, the Ender 7, the latest in the Ender line from Creality. Looks like they just cut a 3D printer and put some smooth rods and aluminum extrusions in the middle, but hey, maybe she'll run, right? There could be some good stuff here, but Creality's kind of known for these budget 3D printers, and we actually covered budget 3D printers in a previous video, card to it right here, and Creality kind of did run the field. Now, they didn't win, not in my eyes, right? I think that there's a lot of issues with Creality printers overall that don't make them amazing, great first impression 3D printers. I think they're phenomenal second 3D printers where you kind of know what you're doing and you don't mind the little bit of extra time, but you've gone through a lot of that stuff with a higher quality machine, so you don't really have to deal with a lot of the BS. But anyways, my personal opinion, you guys can make your own. But let's look at the Ender 7. A new breakthrough of speed. Normal printing speed of the Creality Ender 7 is up to 250 millimeters per second. Enjoy instant high-speed printing while maintaining the same molding precision quality. So, like, right here, first off, there's an extra space, and that is going to forever bother me, or they have something going on with their kerning. But I'm sorry, under no circumstances is desktop level or even prosumer grade 3D printing molding precision. It just doesn't happen. I get with resin you can get like real close, but it is never going to be as good as something off of a CNC mill for an injection mold. So stop it. I get that there might be some translation issues here, so I'm going to try to give some benefit of the doubt. Now, if we're going to look at like the same quality and precision that we're expecting out of the Ender series, yeah, I would bet that we're probably still in here. Now, up to 250 millimeters a second print speed. Before we get too far, I kind of want to address this because this is a misnomer. Any printer can basically print this fast. Actually, I would hedge a bet that the Ender 3 could print this fast. You will have to accelerate it incredibly slowly to get there, but it's possible. I know Prusa's can print that fast. You're going to have garbage looking prints, but it is possible. When you're dealing with a Bowden tube system, printing at 250 is not unreasonable. I know our Fusion 3 F410 can print 250. I have printed 250 millimeters a second with it, but there are lots of other things where it's like, is it really worth it? And a lot of times the answer is absolutely not. So don't let the speed be your dream of, I want a really fast 3D printer. Look, we all want really fast 3D printers, but ultimately, what controls the speed of your printer? It's not your motors, it's your hot end, right? We did a whole video about what is a hot end, the anatomy of a hot end. We'll card to it right there for you guys as well. But this is what really controls the speed of your printers. The motors can move that fast all friggin' day long, and they are not going to care. Not going to care. This is what cares. Can you pump enough heat into this block of what is most likely aluminum on the Ender 7 to make it print that fast? Doubt. Now, I will say, it does kind of look like they took a regular 3D printer and just like sawzalled the middle. It's like, who let AVE come in and design a 3D printer? But you know what? I don't really mind the aesthetics. Now, if I'm gonna be a little picky, I would have loved to see the screen at the top of the machine. I think that's just, for me, where it makes more sense. As somebody with a bad back, if you're gonna force me to have this entire build volume, machine volume anyways, I'd rather have the screen where it's easier for me to access rather than having to bend down so much. Now, I recognize why they did this because all of their electronics are in the base. So yeah, put it down there. But if you are going to have like a reasonably decent top fascia cover, I want my screen up there. I don't think it would be that much extra effort to run a cable for the screen up there. But hey, that's my thoughts. Let's take a look at this video. And, let's see. What? 2065
This
in Mars?
is the 1825th day of human
Okay, here we go. So, what 2065 in Mars, and they're saying it's 1825th day. There's exactly 5 years in 1825 days. So they're saying that we should be colonizing Mars in 2060.
day of human reconstruction of Mars.
Okay.
Today, we're going to explore the greater unknown world.
How is this, like, related to a 3D printer? Also, that is the smallest fake rocket I've ever seen.
2, 1.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense.
Well, okay. No problem. Let's do it.
Are we... Seems like some stuff is off, like, timing-wise on the audio. It's a touch screen. Alright, let's see some things. So, dual cooling fans. That is not 250 millimeters a second. Again, this is an acceleration thing.
Whoa, it was fast!
This is Creality's latest product, Ender 7. In addition to core XY structure, Ender 7 utilizes linear rail to achieve even higher print.
This is nice. Okay, right. I will poo-poo Creality all day for using V-Wheels. I'm looking at you, lulzbot. By the way, get subscribed. We're gonna have a whole video coming out later this week, hopefully, on the brand new lulzbot Sidekick 3D printers, where they should have used linear rails, but they actually used V-Wheels. The thing that I always poo-poo Creality for, because V-Wheels suck! Don't use them in 3D printers. Linear rails are so cheap. This appears to be an MGN12. They don't even have to be good quality to be better than V-Wheels. Basically, anything that you can put on there that is linear-based is better than V-Wheels. I'm not a huge fan of the cantilevered
to produce high
pulleys, but that's
precision
fine.
and accuracy, even during high-speed printing.
Perfect.
Ender 7 is also equipped with
Okay, so they're using some sort of combination of...
Ender
Let's pull
7.
this up. This is an older style, like MK8, MK10,
is also
but they're
equipped
using
with full metal
Bondtech
dual
gears,
gear
so
extruder and a customized high-volume nozzle.
I'll
that
give 'em
provides
credit.
Superior flow and
50 cubic millimeters? Excuse me? Nozzle cavity volume is 50... What? What? Why does this matter? Are you telling me you're putting 1.75 millimeter into 3 millimeter?
nozzle that will provide
hole?
superior flow and
Guys,
printing
that's-
experience.
no.
A unique dual fan design for high output airflow.
Unique dual fan. Guys, I've had dual fans on 3D printers for years. Like, actually, my first dual fan 3D printer was over 10 years ago.
That allows rapid cooling of printed model during high-speed printing.
It's really not all that high speed, and
Tell
quite
ya,
frankly, it didn't
it's
look like it
amazing.
was printing.
Isn't it?
Yeah!
We even upgraded the motor. The new high-power motor will provide ample of power and torque during high-speed printing.
All right, so let's talk about high torque motors. Now, stepper motors specifically, their torque is effectively based on their XYZ dimensions. And if you're using a NEMA 17, your XY, so your actual, like, your physical outline of the motor is set. Now, do I have a NEMA 17 handy? Actually, I can get one. This is a NEMA 17 stepper motor. Just get this Bowden tube's gonna be anyway. This is a NEMA 17 stepper motor. So this plate here that you see is consistent across all NEMA 17s. This is the size they are. But the length, right? The length here, just get this Bowden tube. I'm gonna stick it in the back of my shirt so it stays out of the friggin' shot. Like, this is what I do for you all. All right. So the actual thickness here of the motor, the thicker this is, like the longer this is, the better this will be in terms of strength, right? The higher strength you will get out of a motor like this. So in the video, gotta pull this out of my shirt. In the video, we can actually see that the motor here is taller than the one over here. Now, hopefully one of them doesn't just drive one side and not the other. I don't know, man. It's Creality.
Ender 7, beyond fast.
Beyond fast. Hi. Creality, my name's Grant. The 250 is not what I would consider beyond fast, but you know what? Hey. You do you. I don't like when companies start with speed as their big selling point, because there's more to a 3D printer than how fast it can print, right? Like I said before, basically every printer that has been made can print at 250 millimeters a second, but the likelihood of them accelerating to there is unlikely. Now, let me be clear, with high precision linear rails, like, don't call them high precision unless you're using high wind. Now, don't get me wrong, there are great, reasonably good rails out there from a myriad of sellers on AliExpress and Alibaba, but they are never going to be able to compete with high wind, straight up. And yeah, high wind might be, let's say, 0.001% deviation, and the cheaper ones are 0.01% deviation. Is that good enough? Yeah, it's probably good enough. And are you going to notice a difference on an Ender 7? No, you will not. Because this tri-rail system is going to cause way more issues for you than anything else. A customized high-volume nozzle. Now, this slightly worries me, because that means it's not a nozzle that you can easily get, like, on Amazon, right? Currently, you know, you can get MK10, MK8, M6, which is the threading for a E3DV6. Nozzles all easily available from sellers of varying reputability. But when you start talking about custom nozzles, you start dealing with stuff that no longer becomes ubiquitously available. Now, Creality is really well known for their ability to keep stuff in stock, as long as everything goes well. Of course, when COVID hit, they don't make stuff in the United States, clearly. They couldn't make a $200 printer in the United States and sell it, you know, without going under. So they are kind of at the mercy of their shipping channels. Now, we know Ender 7s have landed in the United States. Actually, Joel Telling of the 3D Printing Nerd has done a whole video, I think it was 2 videos, on an Ender 7 that he got, and he still doesn't know if it's any good, because his was plagued with problems. He doesn't know if it's a pre-production model or not, but we'll card to his video right there if you want to take a look at it. But hey, make sure you come back and finish this one. Customized high power motors. I mean, I guess technically you can order custom length motors, but again, this is a lot of marketing wank to me and not a whole lot of like actually showing that you can do stuff. Minimalist aesthetic design, you know what? Yeah, that's not lying. That's totally true. And you know, like I said before, I don't mind this. It just looks a little weird. I do like they put a cover over the Core XY belt arrangement, because yeah, little hands and very high speed moving belts. No, not today. I don't like that. Now, to understand about Core XY requires 2 motors, one for X, one for Y, but it's not traditional in what you would expect. If you spin one motor by hand, the printer will move in a 45-degree angle. Okay, and you actually need to turn both of them in varying directions to get the machine to move up and down or left and right. And what that does is it enables your printer to have very low overall inertia hits on your extruder. Now, of course, the speed up and slow down, but your belts are not going to see as much of that inertia as you would expect. And I could be using the wrong term there, but it balances out the forces, basically. Core XY is how you move printers fast, period. So the fact they're using a Core XY and they're claiming 250 millimeters a second, unreasonable? No. Unreasonable for Creality? Yeah, probably. So the volume of the melting chamber has been increased to 50 cubic millimeters, and the volume of the heating block has been increased to 4,000 cubic millimeters. So heat block, okay, so they're saying this heat block is 4,000 cubic millimeters of volume, and that the nozzle is 50. So they're probably using some sort of Volcano-esque clone. This is a V6, so Volcano has a much larger melt zone. And yes, if you're gonna print that fast, you have to have longer melt zones, right? And you're likely to have to turn your temperatures up too. I like, you know, that they're talking about the linear rails. I think the linear rails are a phenomenal selling point to this machine over an Ender 3 or an Ender 5, right? Linear rails to me are the best motion platform that is reasonably cheap for 3D printers. We start printing size 250 by 250 by 300. The machine size is considerably larger than that, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. The machine net weight is 17.2 kilos, so like 37 pounds, somewhere in that range. That's not a lot of packaging, but hey, Creality knows how to ship printers, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of us give Creality a lot of crap, and ostensibly they do deserve it most of the time. They legitimately deserve it most of the time. But there are times where, all right, now we're just kind of kicking the dead horse, right? They're producing cheap printers out of China. Give them a break. So this is 3D Printing Industries article all about it. Similar to what we see on Creality's page, it shows us their different machines. There's CP01, the CR6, the CR10, CRX Pro, and of course the CR30 belt 3D printer. And, you know, I really want to get a CR30, so let us know. Would you be interested in seeing CR30 content? Yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know about it. Yeah, get subscribed while you're down there too, and leave this video a like. Because, yeah, this is a video that if I could get my hands on one of these, I would have done it, you know, with the printer hands-on, but I don't have 3D printing nerd clout yet, but with your help, we can get there. But yes, we've got the Ender 5 Plus and Ender 6 are some of their more recent machines, and they're... I wish if Creality's gonna make a printer that can go really fast, make it bigger! Like, it's not that much more difficult. Yes, all of your extrusions get bigger. Now, Grant said it's not all that more difficult, yet we have a D-Bot, it's Core XY. That is 400 by 400 by 788. And I will tell you, large Z-axis printers are a nightmare. Everything shakes, and it's just not things that you expect. So we actually rebuilt our entire Z-axis. It just used to be 3 lead screws. Now it is a singular ball screw with 12mm smooth rods. Yeah, the Z-axis alone weighs more than the entire printer. Perfectly balanced. If you guys want to see a video on that machine, let me know, and maybe once we have the new sets ready to go, we will show it off. Because I think I might end up using it as a set piece to get it out of my main office and into the set. But I like... see, I like they say up to, rather than they say that it does print at 250. They say up to, which likely means you need a fair bit of tuning to get there. They're using a 4260 stepper motor. It must be that it's 42mm wide and 60mm tall. And again, like I was saying, it's all kind of based upon the height of your motor. So that would make sense. Almost every printer can print at 250mm a second. It's just not gonna be good. I would love to test one of these. I think if this can actually print at 250mm a second accurately, yeah, for $700, yeah, absolutely. Now, we were just on their website, but yeah, you can't, I don't know where 3D Printing Industry gets the $700 price point, but I didn't see it. You know, they're saying addition of the precision linear rail, they provided a printer with a simplified means of lowering abrasion and achieving greater stability. Well, you're not really lowering abrasion, you are reducing friction. Abrasion and friction are very different. Abrasion would be caused by, like, poor manufacturing tolerances. And friction would just be caused by your method of which things are touching each other. And yes, it will achieve greater stability. Quite frankly, the steel linear rails that are used provide a lot of rigidity to 3D printers. So this is a good move. I do like that. And it can now deal with torque from multiple directions. What? That's how 3D printers work. Due to these upgrades, the firm says the Ender 7 is ultimately able to dynamically adjust its acceleration and deceleration algorithm, guaranteeing the quality and efficiency of print molding. Are you telling me that you have some sort of AI something or other that is able to adjust my acceleration based on how fast I have the printer? Now, if this is true, amazing, right? There aren't a lot of printers that do that. None that come to mind initially. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. This is Cunningham's law, and I'm very happy to be able to take advantage of it. But I don't know if that's true. It could be. It very well could be. And, you know, honestly, the 250 by 250 by, what is it, 300, right? 250 by 2, yep, 250 by 250 by 300. $700, it's not bad, but like at $700, you're almost at a Prusa. And you gotta be at Prusa level in terms of user friendliness, right? Like, if you're not gonna get to Prusa level for printing, but you're gonna be able to run 250 out of the box, okay, right? I mean, there are some exceptions that I can make here. But if you are going to sit at $700, require lots of tuning, lots of BS, and of course, it appears it doesn't even have auto bed leveling. And it's $700 Creality. It's easy to put in a BL Touch or an inductive probe. Just put it on your printers. Someone that spends $700 on a printer does not want to spend it leveling the freaking beds. And I know, I am such a pain in the ass for this kind of thing. But I'll tell ya, I don't use cheap 3D printers anymore because I don't like leveling beds. My big D-Bot used to have a manually leveled bed, and it would take hours to get it right. It's also a 18-inch piece of aluminum with a glass sheet on it, so it would take a while. Now with a BL Touch, it does a 49 probe array in like 3 minutes, and I don't have to touch the printer again. That's awesome. By the way, that printer was built before flex beds were ever a thing. We're gonna put a flex bed on it. It's gonna be a whole build series once we have all of our new sets ready to go for this YouTube channel, which I am so excited for. I don't mind this printer, but I am leery, right? I'm leery of most things that come out of Creality because, let's be real, right? 3D printers are a lot like politics. They promise a lot, but are you really 100% happy with what you get? Let's be real here. Nobody's perfect. And that's real, right? Nobody's perfect, and neither is Creality. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I really want to get my hands on one. So Creality, if you're watching this, I would love to get one. I mean, I've been a little critical of you guys in the past, so probably won't be able to get one. And certainly I don't think I can justify spending $700 on a Creality printer. But I don't know. I mean, if it can do what it claims it can do, this will be a pretty good value for a 3D printer, especially as, again, a second printer, something that is not your one and only, right? Cheaper printers like this are not one and onlys. They're great second machines. They're great tinkering machines, you know, with a kid, a friend, whatever it might be, where the benefit of learning the hard way doesn't impact your day-to-day work of the machine. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Bowden style hot ends, but it does enable the printer to move faster, so I get that. I am a little concerned about the machine's rigidity, but I guess that is to be seen. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I will see you all there. Don't forget to call your loved ones, and as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one. Did she even wake up during this video? She must have, because she's turned around. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully I didn't bore you as much as this cat is clearly bored and tired with me. But don't forget, we have a Patreon coming soon, so your name could be scrolling right over here. Right below me is the video I was talking about earlier, the affordable 3D printer roundup that we did earlier this year. Go ahead and check that out. I think you're gonna like it. I'll see you guys down in the comments. Don't forget to get subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.